So I now have 19 little friends in here, and we are ready to embrace the crazy. Changing my mind so many times. This is so hard. After 17 years of teaching, and each year I think, okay, I figure out my system and I get better. This COVID has just thrown everything out the window. Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle Crisafulli. I am a first grade teacher in Central Florida. Today is Monday. We are officially at the 4th week of school. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up my PowerPoints. It's the 4th week of school. I am no longer teaching anybody virtually. They gave me all face-to-face students, so I now have 19 little friends in here, and we are ready to embrace the crazy. So I have to go find another desk this morning. I got some wonderful comments on my video on Friday. Thank you guys so much for your sweet words. I definitely feel like this has been a very long year already, even though we are only on day 16 today, I think. So I've got to figure this out. I think I enjoyed my day off yesterday. I worked Saturday from home, but I think I enjoyed my day yesterday with my kids way too much, because when I got home last night, I didn't want to like finalize anything, prep anything. I didn't want to do anything. I just sat on the couch with my husband and we ate Chinese and we watched Schitt's Creek, and we didn't do anything because it was storming and nasty. It was just one of those nights. So I need to go around the room and figure out where all my babies are going to sit. I need to go get one more desk. I know I'm only one desk short, but I know they're also going to be sitting around the room. So I'm tempted to not bring the desk over. Also, I bought another shelf. Another one of these shelves that's right here, but I didn't get it put together. So my table over there doesn't have anywhere to put anything. And if they're sitting around the room, I don't know where they're going to put their stuff. I need to think about this, because my plan was for them to not sit around the room originally, and then I went ahead and thought, well, that's okay. I can have 2 or 3 sitting around the room. I don't know if they'll choose that or not, because we didn't have time to choose on Friday with all the changes. So I guess if they're sitting, I can clear off my table and I can have a couple kids sit at the table, but then I don't know where they're going to put their stuff. Maybe we'll use these bins right here, these little red ones, and I'll just put them over there with their names on it, and their stuff can go in it, and that way if they're sitting at the table, or their bins can sit on the table with them. But if they're sitting around the room, I guess their bins would go with them anyway. So I need to go get some more of those bins. I need to go ask my kindergarten friends if they love me enough to let me take some more of those bins. Although I have these bins up here. Woo! Maybe they can just use those. I don't know. So let me run down what we're doing today. We do have to do some testing today. I have to get a lot of our testing done, and that's going to take up a good chunk of our day. But in the meantime, I still want my students to have lessons. So we'll start our day with our calendar like we always do. Last day of sorry, I'm trying to edit the calendar. Clearly I cannot do 2 things at once this morning. Last day of August, so I want to edit the calendar, do our morning message, and then we will move on to, I'm probably going to go ahead and DSA them first thing. I already DSA'd about half. No, that's not true, because most of this class is not in here. No, that is true. I DSA'd about 8 of these kiddos. So the other ones I need to DSA, and so while that's happening, they can play on their iPads. Hopefully they remember their iPads today, because a good couple of them forgot their iPads. Their iPads are going to start staying here like every other day, just so if it's an important day, we have them. And then we are reading a story today about friendship. It's actually from our reading series, which I am not a fan of the textbook company reading series personally, from my style of teaching. I use like bits and pieces. Some of the stories are wonderful. Some of the stories are just good classic stories. And then some of them are, it's like they're making up a story just to fit something. I don't know. They're just horrible stories. There's no way to teach a quality lesson from it. We are using one today that's just about being friends and friendship, and that is because I have got to test. So it was easier for me just to do this story with them, go through like the motions with the PowerPoints, and then get them testing, versus trying to come up with a story that was from a picture book with, you know, an anchor chart and a, you know, just an elaborate lesson. I needed to keep the lesson short and sweet, and sometimes those reading series books are short and sweet, and this one is. It's called What is a Pal, I think it is. And so it's just a good story about friendship. Since we have a brand new class in here for the 4th week in a row, we're going to be talking about ourselves and friendship and good character and citizenship, and hopefully then we can move on next week to a little bit more challenging academics and really start teaching them. I'm looking forward to Friday, because on Friday of my All About Me week, we always do fun science experiments. We do some color experiments. I'm hoping to get those in this week. I think we're going to do some with our standards this week is matter. And so I think we're going to do some experiments with matter. And on Friday, we're going to share bags that the kids are going to bring in. They're going to decorate. They're All About Me bags. So we can get to know each other. They're not going to be able to like pass stuff around, and we're not going to get to sit in our circle and all that. But I might be able to like push the desks out of the way on Friday afternoon and like sit them 6 feet apart or so in just chairs. And we do it that way. So I'll play around with that. And then this afternoon we are doing a review game in math, and then again they have to test, so that's going to be fun. And our science this afternoon is like introduction to matter, so it's about sorting objects by size and color and all that. So it should be a pretty simple day, lots of testing. I'm hoping to get all of the DSA done. I'm hoping to get, and then I will show you how I'll set up phonics. I'm hoping to start my reading assessments, our Fountas and Pinnell leveled reading assessments, so that I can get my students split up into groups. Those usually take a while, but I'm hoping to kind of like try to fly through it, knock it out, and just kind of get a basic level for them. And usually we have a lot more information than what we have from kindergarten, but because kindergarten's distance learning looks a little different, or looked a little different, we don't have all of the data. So it's going to be taking a guess on where to start them. So we'll see. And that's our day. So I will catch up with you probably at the end of the day, because it's going to be such a crazy day in here. My plan this week is to try to film some of my teaching, set up my tripod and zoom in just on me, so that you can see me teaching from the front of the room with the kids scattered, but you can't see the kids. I'm hoping to make that work, but I don't have time to set that up today. Right now it is 8:30. My students come in 8:40, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get this set up, get my PowerPoint set up, and I'll see you guys after school. Hi guys, so it's lunchtime. I think I did record a little bit this morning. We did some sight word review while we were waiting on PE to start, so I just pulled up a quick sight word. It's called like the speed read or speed something. I'll link it in the description box down below. It is fantastic. It has all the different lists of sight words. And then I think it's Primary Techie that did it. And the kids just speed, and then at the end of every list, it goes faster, faster. And you get like the packet I bought is like by month. So, you know, right now it's like the school bus and all that, and the kids just love it. You know, it's amazing how just changing the graphics and the clip art. But can you guys hear? I don't know if you can see that very well. It is storming so bad outside. I love, love, love rainy days like this. Not because the kids can't go outside at all and get any kind of break, which we're not really right now anyway. But because, I don't know, it just kind of takes me back to childhood, like rainy days at school. I don't know, there's something very nostalgic about rainy days at school. It is pouring. Let's see if you can see that. Can you see that outside? It is pouring. It is just like, sorry, I have my camera flipped backwards, so I hope you could see that. So, really quick. So I had all these great plans for today. My DSA, which let me show you, took forever. I only had like 6 kids having to take it because the rest of them, I had already given it to them last week. So the rest of my babies worked on finishing up some of their testing on their laptops. Let me flip you around. So this little baby looks like she skipped number 4. We didn't do 12, we only did 10. So I think she just went in and wrote random letters when she thought she was supposed to. I'll have to go in and see if any of these letters matched any of the sounds. This little baby got some of them. I think this was cap. No, this was trip. That's pretty common for trip. It's just is to do the C, or sometimes you'll see a CH or CR. They don't really know what to do for that TR sound. This is one of my ESOL babies, one of my little language learners. She could get more than what she was doing. She just started to feel overwhelmed, I think, up here. So I'm gonna go back and work with her one-on-one and see what sound she's actually hearing. This little baby did pretty well. This little baby got some of the beginning and ending sounds, so that's good. So I didn't have to get very many of them, but it took forever because they were so panicked. So many people like they were so panicked about the fact that they were getting something like that. It threw them off. So we stopped at 10, just like the other group. I can't do that to them. I wanted to kind of get an idea of where they needed and what they needed. I have, I think, 5 ELL babies and 2 special needs babies and 2 speech babies. So lots of needs in the room, lots of diversity, lots of modifications that I'm gonna have to make. And you know, usually you get a class with, you know, a couple ELL babies, but usually because the way our district sets everything up is they have, it's a little bit mixed a little bit differently because that we also have dual language programs. So we have classrooms that are teaching the students English and Spanish at the same time. And so some of our ELL babies go in there. Which I think is wonderful. It's just so hard this year because all these kids are coming from different places. So I think I figured something out for my room, and this is going to sound crazy, and I'll show you after school, but instead of moving my chairs all over the place, I'm moving my students each week. They get a different spot in the room. So I have a table of all of the rocker chairs, my little brown rocker chairs. I have a table with the 2 yoga balls and 1 crate seat. I have a table with the wobble seats. I have a table that's regular chairs, and then my kiddos that want to sit around the room. I'm going to get them all buckets So I may go back to the green and yellow buckets. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm changing my mind so many times. This is so hard. After 17 years of teaching, and each year I think, okay, I figure out my system and I get better. This COVID has just thrown everything out the window. So we may go back to the buckets versus the buckets that I have in here. And I may use the book bins for their center games. I think that's what I'm gonna do, so that will have their centers in them. The buckets are going to go around the classroom with them because they can put everything in the bucket. It's open. It's not a small bucket. It's a wide tray. The beginning of the day, I will either have their bucket sitting around or they'll sit out each day. No big deal because they're keeping the spot for the week. They'll fit on the shelves and they'll slide in the desks perfectly. And then if they move from a desk to a, ooh, sorry, you're so close. If they move from a desk to a table spot or around the room, it's organized. I think it'll work. In fact, we may try it this afternoon. Part of my problem today is that I keep trying to do things. I had to go over rules with these kids because they weren't in here when we established our classroom rules. This afternoon, because I've got to get some more of this testing done, we are doing our poetry folders. We're setting up our poetry folders, and on the front of the poetry folder, we just glue these down. The year full of poetry, so they're gonna color that, listen to some Disney music. We're gonna practice using our glue boxes, so they'll get those back. I think I told you before, I don't know what the deal is with these glue boxes, I guess because they're from the Dollar Tree and they don't seal correctly. If the students turn it up on its side, then the glue spills out. So that's something that we're gonna have to make sure that we're doing, but I don't want it spilling out on their notebooks. So I'm probably going to take those up. I would rather it spill in a bucket than in their notebooks or all over their notebooks. So we'll probably take those up. We'll practice using glue boxes today. And then I'll take them up after we're done, wipe them down, and they're not using them tomorrow, so that I can think of. Hold on a second. Okay, so sorry. Our custodian came in to empty our recyclings. So we're gonna practice using the glue boxes. We're gonna do our poetry folders. We're just gonna set them up. We're not gonna do a poem today, but I did pull out their poem that they're gonna use. Let me show it to you. It's called I'm Special, You're Special. And we're going to do this tomorrow, and we're gonna use our highlighters. So that's another procedure. This is a really cute poem. It is from the book, The Great Big Book of Thematic Poetry. I use those poems a lot. Sometime I will show you how I sort my poems and organize them. I love using poems. Used to do 3 or 4 a week, and I would hole punch them. And at the beginning of the week, that was one of our procedures. If they had their poems on their desk, they came in, they would open up their poetry folder, they'd put their poem in. And if it had a picture, they could go ahead and color their picture so they weren't wasting time during class. That was one of the things we did in the mornings. So I may go back to that. But we don't read 3 or 4 poems a week. We just, in our schedules, we just don't have the time. So I can't figure out why. I guess it's the mascara I'm using and the fact that I'm getting so hot in here. And then we are also going to do this little sheet. So now that I have my babies, this is an all about me thing that I like to hang across the room. So we're gonna do that. And we're gonna finish testing. And we'll probably be testing some tomorrow too, because I have got to get my kiddos tested. So it's just one of those weeks. Now that we have our final class list, hopefully no more changes. Hopefully, right? No more changes. I'm feeling pretty good. I got some plexiglass donated for this grouping right here. I know that's probably, there's only one kiddo over here because he's the only one that wanted to sit at a regular desk. So I know that's probably making some of you guys go crazy. We have different restrictions. One of you commented saying that the kids shouldn't be facing each other. We have different protocols and restrictions here. There's no way to not face our kids together because the shapes of our rooms. They just have to be 3 feet apart. That's the distance apart. But I did get some plexiglass donated because this table was bothering me. I had all of my desks spread apart, but they were constantly knocking into each other, and it ended up causing a crowd over here because the cubbies is where they put their backpacks. I didn't feel comfortable with it, and I talked to my principal Friday afternoon, and I asked him if I could get a company to donate plexiglass, and I did. So I'm waiting on that to come in. So right now there's only one little friend sitting over here. I have a group of girls, 4 of them, that are sitting on the carpet, 1 on each corner. They're sitting on the carpet in our special seats. Then I have 3 kids at each table. And then way over there, I have 3 kids at that table, and I have a desk that I had to move out of the way so that Mr. P, our janitor, could come in, sorry. And then I've got this little guy that's way over here, and he's off to the side. But I do have plexiglass donated, so I'm excited for that to come in. It's not enough for the whole classroom. It's just a few pieces that I got, and so I'm excited for that to come in. I don't know what they're sending, actually. Maybe they'll send in one of those dividers. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, so I will show you guys more of the setup after school, and I will try to video. I don't know if you guys care about, like, if I do a video of them working. As long as I don't show the face, the students can be in it. I do have permission for photography for most of my class, but I still don't feel comfortable showing their face. It's not, you know, it's my channel, it's not a school event, so I will not show their faces. But I can show, like, when they're working and, like, the conversations that we have. I can show, like, the floor or just me. So you guys let me know in the comments below if you want to see, like, them working, if you want, like, when they're doing stuff, if you want me to show, like, their legs moving, if they're dancing, if you want, like, when I'm teaching and they're doing, like, independent writing, if you want that. I do appreciate, you know, the comments and the feedback that I get, because, like, a couple of you were talking about the boxes on that one page. I don't know why I pulled out that page. That's a page for, like, later on in the 1st grade year. I think I was just desperate to try to find a character setting problem solution elements chart, and I just grabbed that one, and then I was talking about how but they didn't, on top of that, they didn't answer the questions. Like, we did that together, and they had a hard time filling in the boxes because, yes, it was way too small. Originally, I pulled that up because I was planning on us doing it on the computer, so they would be typing, so it wouldn't have mattered. But then I ended up having kids in here, so that changed everything. So I know better than to do that, but I wasn't planning on them actually writing it. They were supposed to do it on the computer, and then that mess happened. But they didn't answer the questions either. Like, when we were having the discussion about who were the characters, I got the deer in the headlights look from them. They didn't know what I meant. We had to go over that. So I have to do a lot more modeling with this group. We have to do a lot more explicit teaching of that kind of stuff, because I feel like they might know it. They just might have forgotten that, oh yeah, I do know this kind of stuff. So I don't feel like they're very confident in themselves because they missed a whole quarter, the whole 9 weeks of school. So I'm going to get off. I'm going to check in with you guys after school. I'm going to eat my lunch, and I will see you guys in a little bit. No, we don't eat the stuff that's on the floor. Hi guys, so it is the end of the day. I'm getting ready to pack up and get out of here. I wanted to show you the classroom. I am liking my setup so much better the way I have it now. So I'll flip you around and show you that. And I'm doing some organizing for my student data. So I thought I would show you that and show you what's going on for tomorrow. So we had testing a good chunk of the day today. I didn't test the whole day. I did, like, this morning we talked about our class rules, expectations, and dojo. And then we did a little bit of testing. Then we had PE, and we came back and we tried to finish some of our testing and didn't. So then we, when we came back from lunch, we did pick up the testing, and then we did our poetry folders. We set those up. We set up, what else did we do? Oh, we did our little things for the classroom, like our All About Me stuff. And they just needed that. They needed some time to kind of talk and get to know each other, even though they're sitting quite far apart. I think it was really nice for them to just visit together as a class and relax. We listened to some Disney music and just kind of had a good afternoon. So I will flip you around and show you how I've got things set up. I think it's gonna work. As soon as my computers get removed, then I'm gonna use that wall for the centers. I'm going to use those. So let me flip you around and show you what's going on. Okay, so first things first with my data, and I'm gonna try not to show you all of the folders with the names in it, but I have this box that I've always used, and I usually just keep students writing in it, writing samples, their copies of their DRA or their reading assessments, any assessments that we have to do within school, but everything is so digital this year, so I wasn't sure I was gonna need it. I decided to go ahead and keep it because in my little information pack, I always put this page in my like parent contact notebook so that I have their phone numbers real quick. I can, and it sits by my phone. But this page, getting to know your child, that I send home, and their photograph release, I wanted to put in a folder. So I'm just gonna put that in there along with any like pertinent writing samples and things that they do, like their beginning of the year writing. So I wanted to show you the best folder. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to show you a whole bunch of student names. So these are the best folders. These are the hanging folders that have the tabs already on them, so that they're not the ones with the plastic like these, because you know, we all know those pop out. If I do buy those, I always buy the plasticky ones that have the stronger, what are those called, like little metal pieces on the end. But I like, these are my favorite, that have the tab that's attached to the folder. So I'm just putting their name on the folders in there, just putting their names on that, and then all of their stuff from this packet goes in there, and then any writing that they do, any reading things. So I got that done, and then I showed you their data, but I wanted to show you two other pages that I'm adding to their data folders. So I'm going to have these copied. So there's this one, which is their sight words, and then this one is their iReady lesson tracker. This one's going to go within the packet. This one's going to go on the opposite side, and I'm going to make a reading and a math one. So they'll have two. And then once they get to 100 lessons passed, then I'll just print off another page. And I might just print off a page that has just the box on it. I don't know. So that's going in their data folder. So I've been doing that. So let me show you the classroom now. So I have, wait, zoom out. I don't know why my hand is covering that, but okay. So I have this table grouping. I only have one little friend that sits here. He's the only one that chose desk. I told you I got some plexiglass donated. I don't know how many and what it's going to look like. So I'm only letting one student sit over here right now, which works out because they've picked their seats this morning. So that'll be their seats all week. So they picked their seats, and it's working out beautifully. My little fellow that likes to sit here, he wants to be by himself anyway. But if I did have somebody else that was sitting at a desk, I could put one here and one there on that end and be completely, you know, or opposite, and be completely 3 feet between the two. I know it kind of doesn't look like it, but it really is quite a bit of space. Plus I'll have the plexiglass. What I think it is I think it's like a plexiglass frame, like a 4 frame that goes in it. If not, it might be like the ones that go on the desks individually. That would be my guess. So that's one grouping. Like I said, I only have one little guy that sits here, and then he is keeping his stuff in his drawer, and that just slides in and out. I did use my little yellow and green drawers so you can see them. So I've got my grouping here, my guy over there, my grouping here, and then my grouping here. And then I have little friends that my plan is that all of these extra, oh goodness, all of these extra things are for my friends that sit up here on the carpet. So that's why you see a whole bunch here. Don't get nervous. I have 4 friends that sit on the carpet. I have 2 that chose those seats and 2 that chose those seats. I'm gonna go pick up 2 more of those things because they like them, and my little friends that have these seats want those as well. But they're using this to store all of their stuff. So all of their notebooks and everything's gonna go in that, and then those can. Hi guys, so I'm sorry I didn't touch base with you this morning. I got here really late this morning. Usually we get here about 7:30, 7:45, and I got here this morning and I realized I didn't have my cream for my coffee. And if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know I drink coffee with butter and cream in it because I do keto. So I needed my cream to make my coffee this morning. So I had to go all the way back home. Luckily, I only live about 5 minutes away, so I got home, got back, and I was still here before 8, but then I just always feel so panicked, only having about 30 minutes to get stuff done. So I am pulling up our math stuff right now. This morning we did our dry erase board procedures, and they did very well. We wrote our words with short E, practiced our handwriting. Their handwriting isn't terrible. It's probably some of the best handwriting that I've had. Most of them don't know their letters. So we're going to have lots of assisted small groups instead of guided reading groups at first, which will be wonderful. So I'm pulling up our math right now, just double checking that I have the game on there, and I do not. So I have to find the game. Where'd it go? Oh, I'm looking in the wrong spot. Y'all, my brain. Boy, trying to multitask and talk. There we go. Okay, so we did that. They've done some testing. I've done some reading level testing with them today. I have one precious little boy who doesn't know anything. Really and truly, he probably is on a pre-K level. He does something like, he just invents the story. He just looks at the pictures and makes up what he thinks is there. He doesn't know any sight words, doesn't know most of his letters. Precious. So we're gonna have to go way back for him. And then I have some that know most of their letters, know some sight words. So they'll be in a separate group. And then I have one precious angel who I stopped at a level G for her. So she's going to be probably in a group by herself. So fair shares, that's what I want to play. We're gonna play fair shares today. I'm gonna open with PowerPoint. This is a Tunstall game. I have so much of Reagan Tunstall stuff, y'all. I don't even remember what I've been linking for you guys anymore because I own, like, everything she's got for math, I own it. So if you go to Reagan Tunstall and TpT and you click on first grade, if that's your grade level, and you click on her math stuff, I own every bit of her math, everything that she's put out for first grade for math, I own. So I can keep linking it, but you could just go there. And it's fantastic stuff. So if you're kindergarten and you need interactive games, you need techie games to give them, you need math journals, any of her stuff, number notebooks, which are different than her math journals. Her math journals are spiral, her numbers notebooks are specific to this skill. All of it is fantastic. Let me show you how I organize real quick, and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing for homework now, just to keep it simple for my kids. Let me show you this stuff. This is the game that we're playing today, Fair Shares. And I wanted to also go in to my TpT and pull up, we were doing chit chats this morning. I also want, it's hard switching rooms because everything that I had saved on that computer is not on this computer. So I need primary techie. Boom. I'm looking for, let me zoom in. Okay, so while this is searching, I don't know why it's taking so long. So Primary Techie does these little mystery pictures that the kids just love. Whack a Word, I've told you before. These are the 7-minute whiteboard videos. That's what I'm looking for. I want to do the one that is, did I pass it? I think it's the shapes one. So while that's pulling up, because it takes a minute to download, this is what we're doing for homework. This is Reagan Tunstall's editable homework pack. So she puts some stuff in there, but you can go back and edit it. Monday is math, Tuesday is text, Wednesday is writing, Thursday is thinking, and she gives some suggestions for the parents, and all they have to do is at the end of the month, they have to sign that they did the activities. The students color each box as they do something. And this stays in their notebook. So I will check it at the end of the month and give them their homework points. This is what we're doing for right now so that we don't have papers going back and forth. So I forgot to show you guys. So when I'm doing word families, all of my phonics skills, I have a folder. So like this is ETENEG, and all of my papers that I have found over the years go in it. So that way when it's time to do that skill, then I can just go in and pull what I want from my folder. And I've done different things every year. It depends on the group of kiddos. So I just thought I would show that to you. This is what I am doing for them on Thursday this week. We're gonna do our decodable book, but we're also gonna do this one. This is, of course, Reagan Tunstall. This is in her phonics pack. I'm gonna make the books for them, and then they're gonna go in and they're gonna write. Now, normally I'm gonna just put these in centers. This is gonna be part of the things that are in their centers. This is something that we're gonna do this week. They're gonna read the story and they have to match the word with the picture. I wanted to do that today, but we DSA'd yesterday, so I didn't do that. This one I shrunk down so it would go in a journal. This is the big version of it, so that's what you get. And I forget who this is by. Whoop, right there. Mr. Shkadim teaches. I will link it. If I can find it. If I can find it, I will link it. So that's that. And then let me show you what we're gonna do. These 7-minute whiteboard videos are gonna be what we do after lunch, just to continue reiterating the procedures that we learned this morning. They are going to have to read, and this is great. I'll pop this on, and this is 7 minutes of me just walking around and observing. So it gives them a timer, tells them, this is what you need. There's a little timer spinning around. Ding, 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 ding. Primary Techie is fabulous with all the technology stuff. Draw the shape.
Drive. Square.
So then they have to make a square. Okay. I'll let you watch the first one. There you go.
Square.
Check it. Make it fancy.
Drive.
Okay, so it's just a fun little review. Something good to do, oops, on when they need to just get water breaks, come in from recess, that sort of thing. And there's, you know, a good amount for each one. So we're gonna do that. And let me spin you back around. So I have you sitting up on my computer. I hope you stay. So we're gonna do that today. So not only did I forget my creamer this morning, I had to go back. I forgot bottles of water for something to drink, or a Zevia, which is, it's like a flavored water, Kind of like a bubbly. I forgot those. I didn't bring a Diet Coke today. I'm trying to get, I don't like to drink Diet Coke very often, but it seems like here lately I've been drinking one or two every day. Excuse me. So we're doing all these games today to review. I'm going to try to take our math assessment and put it online for our students. So I don't know if that's going to happen tonight though. Okay, friends, so I'm going to finish eating. I have to go get my kids in 4 minutes, and I will check in with you after school.
I got it.
Circle.
Make it fancy.
I did. What's wrong with this?
Ooh, putting a hat on it. Oh, I like it.
I'm all done. I'm all done. I need my water. I need a big I'm done.
Did you make it fancy?
I'm done.
Ooh, I like that fancy one.
I'm just the marching one. I got a marching one.
Okay, watch.
Erase.
Erase. Good job. I like how you're following directions.
Drawing. Triangle.
Where's your eraser? Hey guys, so it's the end of the day. I am cleaning up. This afternoon went pretty well. We did lots of review for our test tomorrow. I'm gonna go home tonight and sorry, my son just walked by with a Jell-O on top of a plate. Like carrying it like a little tray. Sorry. I'm gonna go home tonight. I'm gonna put the test onto our digital platform so they can take the test digitally, so it gets graded for me. We're working on trying to get some grades in this week, so I'm gonna take my grade book home and I'm gonna try to grade some of the stuff that they did online last week, and then some of the stuff that they've turned in here, and get some of that stuff kind of taken care of, and try to start kind of getting things settled. It was a good day. Everything went well. It's working out using the bins. They were working very well. My next step towards the end of this week is to set up centers. So I will film a centers video at the end of the week instead of doing a blog every day. I will film just a centers, setting up centers video for COVID classrooms and how to separate, and like I worked last night on my PowerPoint, my slide for them. So that's what I'm going to do towards the end of the week. The rest of this week is all assessment. I was able to get a reading level on 4 kiddos today. And I think pretty much 5 because I have 2 kiddos. Hey, stop that, please. Please don't do that. I have 2 kiddos that don't know very many letters and sounds, so there's no point to give them a reading level assessment because they don't know any sight words, they don't know all of their letters. They might know 5, I think, letters, most of them. So I'm about a third of the way through with my class. Can you not? He is being a stinker today. I'm going to spin you around and show you a few things, and yeah, then we're going to get out of here. It's raining. It's gross. So I'm going to spin you around. That I showed you guys our calendar at lunch. They were so excited to get homework, y'all. It was funny. I don't know why, but they were so excited. And then we have the state of the classroom. So they're doing very well with these things. My kiddos that sit on the carpet are doing very well staying apart. So I have one that sits here, one that sits like right here, one that sits over here, and then one that sits back here. So they kind of scatter. There's like 4 feet or so in between them. And then during our Heggerty stuff, I'm going to try to film Heggerty tomorrow because they do so well with Heggerty, y'all. And I have to attribute that to kindergarten because they did Heggerty in kindergarten, and it's definitely transferring even with the gap in time. So during Heggerty, I have them spread out a little bit more. I have one little girl here, one little girl here, and then I have one here, and then one here. So I bring some of these kiddos. Again, there's only one little boy that sits at this pod. So I bring some of these kiddos. So I bring him over to the carpet. My little guy that actually sits over here, I bring him over to the carpet. And then I have a little girl that sits like on the other side of that table over there. I bring her to the carpet. And then my little friend that sits right here, she's kind of at a weird angle. She comes to the carpet. So I have them spread out where there's about 3 feet in between them when I do that. And they're still plenty apart. Their bodies are so little bitty, and I don't think that you guys can really see how giant that carpet is. It's huge. So I'm wanting to get rid of that shelf over there before I film my classroom tour video. That's what I'm going to work on here before I go. I want to get rid of that shelf. I'm going to put it in my neighbor's room. But I'm going to take the supplies off of it and consolidate, because right now it is just a bunch of, let me walk over there to it. It's just a bunch of stuff that I would use if we were doing stuff up here. And then a bunch of it just kind of extra stuff. We got these little chairs yesterday. They're so cute. So I'm going to use it for the author's chair. So I'll move it. Sorry, I'm trying to show this angle. I'll move the chair into the middle when we're sharing. Our routine is for somebody to sit in the author's chair. So they're sitting in the Arthur chair. So right now on this, it's just a bunch of random stuff, so I can consolidate it and I can take this shelf out of here. And then I can move this over, and that'll make this space over here seem less crowded. So let me do that and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay friends, so it looks so much better. So there we go. I think that shelf just made it feel too crowded over here, so now that's gone. I'm also taking my chair. So those 2 things are going to go next door until I need them again. But I think that looks so much better. Oh, I need to pick up those pencils. So there we are. Now my next bit of organization that I'm going to do is I'm going to organize that with proper bins. So that's going to be that. And I might, I don't know what bins I'm going to use for that. I don't know. We'll see. So I have to take those back to Michael's, or I may switch out some of those up there for those, for my center bins. I might use those for like my stations by standard, because my other ones that I got weren't big enough. So I might do that. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, and I will do a classroom tour video tomorrow. I'm going to take stuff home to grade. Let me flip you around. Those are the whisper phones. What? They're called whisper phones. Don't use them until I clean them. Don't do that until I clean them. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to take my stuff home to grade and try to get caught up on that. At some point this week, I need to make a new one of these for all of my kiddos because I sent so many home. So I need to do that. But in the meantime, I want to take their papers that they have turned in. They've sat here for a week, so I'm feeling pretty good about them. I'm going to take these home and check through them so that parents can kind of see what their kiddos are doing in school. And I'm going to take home my stuff for next week so that I can begin planning it. Because even though it's a short week next week, I want to be prepared. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not going to do like the vlogging for the rest of the week that I know of, because I'm going to film tomorrow a classroom tour, and then on Friday I'm going to film a setting up centers for the classroom, and then hopefully by Friday I will have my small group data. So I can also film a setting up for guided reading video. I'm not gonna do a plan with me video because that won't happen just yet. I'll probably do a plan with me next week sometime, but I usually start like full-on guided reading groups after Labor Day. That's usually my plan. So I spend next week going through centers. We will take our time each day to work on building our stamina and all that. So I'll film that video Friday, and then a setting up for guided reading video I'll film as well, and it'll be a separate video. So lots of videos coming up. Make sure that you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can get notified. Please tell me some more ideas of things that you would love to see, because I've noticed my view count went from 3,000 to it's like 600 now average. So let me know what you guys want to see. I know that it's not virtual teaching anymore, so I have a feeling that that has a big part of it, is that I am not the virtual teaching classroom. I can film some ideas for virtual teaching. I can film some techie videos, some things like that to help you guys out. So just let me know in the comments what you want to see, and until next time, friends, I will see you later. Bye.